Desperate scenes of Afghans trying to escape at Kabul's airport. Reminiscent of the end of the Vietnam War more than 45 years ago. It was late April 1975 when the last American troops left Vietnam.
I watched with everybody else the last refugees attempting to leave by helicopter from the American embassy.
On the other side of the world in Washington state, the governor at the time, Dan Evans, remembers listening to the radio shortly after the fall of Saigon.
They were talking about Vietnam refugees, and Governor Brown of California saying, we don't need or want any of those refugees until we handle all of the problems of unemployment in our state. We don't need more of that kind of problem. And I thought to myself, that is horrible.
It was very controversial.
Former Secretary of State Ralph Munro, who was working as the special assistant to the governor, remembers getting a call at home from Evans on a Sunday morning.
He was just furious. I mean, he was just spitting blood, angry about this quote by Governor Jerry Brown. And so he said to me, could you find out what's going on?
Munro quickly booked a ticket to California and called Governor Evans from the airport. He remembers Evans' reaction when he told him he was headed to California.
If you see Governor Brown down there, just tell him what it says on the Statue of Liberty. And that's the words I left with.
Munro landed in San Diego and drove to Camp Pendleton, where some of the first refugees were housed in tent cities.
As I came over the hill, I just could not believe. I mean, there were thousands and thousands of people in tents, open pit latrines, kids, adults, former generals, all the way down to, family members, cousins.
He found the commanding officer and told him he was from Washington state. Hundreds of refugees were invited to the state to begin new lives.
I think there were houses in these locations right around here.
The first families arrived at Camp Murray near Fort Lewis, where they were temporarily housed in tents on the property. Thousands followed, and Washingtonians stepped up to welcome them.
We went to work to find host families, and believe it or not, they responded from all over the state. Every corner of the state, people responded and said, I'll help.
In the midst of all the work to help refugees resettle,
we were in Olympia one day, and a message came down from the camp here at Camp Murray that a baby had been born.
News of the first U.S. citizen born to Vietnamese refugees in Washington state.
Then we heard that the baby was named after the governor.
So this is where you were born?
Yes, it was, but definitely not where it's going to end.
That baby, Evans Nguyen, now 46 years old, married with 3 kids and a successful engineering director at a biomed genetics company outside Seattle. His parents escaped Vietnam in 1975, much like Afghans are doing today.
My father worked for the U.S. Embassy in a capacity, and we were on one of the first planes leaving before the fall of Saigon.
His parents had 5 children, and his mom was 8 months pregnant with him.
It was a very, sudden change to leave everything you knew and everything you had behind and go into the unknown.
Growing up, Nguyen's mother would share stories about their time at Camp Murray.
I believe when we were here, the weather was really hard for my parents, especially my mom. And she was not only pregnant with me, but my sister was 1 year older than me, so she was only 1 at the time. My mom and another lady would stay in the latrines at night because it was actually warmer than anywhere else.
The family settled in Renton, and Nguyen's father worked the night shift at a canning factory, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. His mother worked sewing curtains.
When my first son was born, I wrote a letter to my dad just saying, you had 6 kids at the age that I had 1, and I'm barely surviving with 1 with all the resources I have. I have no idea how he managed everything he did.
His parents watched their 6 children thrive. 4 were high school valedictorians. They've gone on to become doctors, mechanical engineers, and a director at Jeff Bezos' aerospace company, Blue Origin. Evan's sister is the founder and CEO of the company Nut Pods, which makes dairy-free creamers.
For the most part, America is still the place of choice, a place where people know they have a future.
Yeah, there's going to be more opportunities here than anywhere else.
Evans has a message for the Afghans fleeing their country for a new life in the U.S.
Remember that you belong here too now. This is your home. Make it your home, but also realize that, you have to contribute like everyone else before you. You know, as a first generation, it's going to be hard, but you have every opportunity everyone else does too.